Alright, hello class. So you should have a worksheet look something like this. Alright, we're going to talk to you about medians and some other new stuff. So a median is a line segment that connects a vertex of a triangle to the midpoint of the opposite side. Okay, so if you look at this triangle down here, you'll see there's three medians. This segment AS is a median right here, connects the vertex to the midpoint. There's also the segment RC, which connects the vertex C to the midpoint. Remember, vertex is just a corner of a triangle, in case you forgot. And then there's a median right here, BK, which connects the vertex, the corner of a triangle, to the midpoint, K. Okay, so a median connects a vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. Three medians of a triangle intersect at something called the centroid, and that's what we're going to focus on today. The centroid. That's not great writing. Let me try that again. CENTROID. Centroid. The centroid is on a median that's 2/3 of the distance from a vertex and 1/3 of the distance from the midpoint. So the centroid is that point where they all intersect. In this picture right here, this is the centroid. U is the centroid in this triangle in that picture. Okay, you see where all the medians intersect? This median, and this median. They all intersect at the centroid U. Okay. It also happens to be 2/3 from the vertex right there. This is 2/3, and this is only 1/3 from the midpoint. And that's true on all of these. Okay, so this median right here, pick a different color. This median, this is 2/3 on this section, and this is only 1/3. Okay, and that's the important point for today's lesson. This is a median. 2/3 is from B to U, right there, and 1/3 is only from U to K. Okay, so in this question, in this example, it says BU is 16. So BU is 16 right there. Find UK, this section, and find BK, the whole thing. Okay, so if you understand that they're talking about 2/3 and 1/3, that's basically the key to all of this. So BU, once again, is 2/3, and it's worth 16. Okay, so if you think of the whole segment from B to K as being broken up into 3 equal pieces, 1/3 of it's right here, 2 of those 3, 2/3 is in there. So you take 16 and split it up into 2 equal pieces. There's 8 of them, and then a third equal piece is right there. Okay, so to answer the question, UK, which is this section, is worth 8, and BK is worth, BK, which is the whole thing, is worth 3/8, or in other words, 24. All right, so that's basically all the information you need to be able to do the rest of this lesson. All right, I'll do maybe just a couple more. I don't want to do too many of these with you. I want you to try to use your brain a little bit. But AU is 16, so you see AU 16 is already marked on there for you. BU is 12, it's marked there for you. And CF is 18, so CF is not marked, but the whole thing is 18. Okay, you're going to use that information to answer some of these questions. So let's see, UD, start with that one. UD is right here. Once again, you're told AU is 16. From the vertex to the centroid is 2/3. You can see that's a longer section. And then from the midpoint to the centroid is only 1/3. Okay, the vertex to the centroid is 2/3, midpoint to the centroid is 1/3. Okay, so if 16 is a 2/3, you split that up into 2. There's 2 of the thirds. Here's your third third. It means this is 8 and this is 8. That's 8. Very similar to the question up here. Okay, you're supposed to figure out UD, and maybe you can't see what I wrote there, but once again, 2 of the thirds is right there. Here's your 1/3, and UD is worth 8. Okay, let's try another one. EU is right here. Okay, that's the 1/3 from the midpoint to the centroid is 1/3. 2/3 is from the vertex, the corner, to the centroid, and it already says that that's 12. It says BU is worth 12. So this is 12. That's the 2/3 section. If you split that up into 2 groups, each group will have to be worth 6 to get to 12. And this has got to be the same thing right here. Okay, that's just a 1/3. And there's 2 of your thirds. Okay, so the question on this one though says EU is 6. If this is 6 and this is 6, and this one's also gonna be 6. It's 6 right there. All right, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I don't want to keep doing too many of these, so I'm gonna let you try to think about this and see if you can figure out the rest of it. It's all pretty much 1/3 and 2/3. That's all you really need to think about. Okay, so your task is to do the rest of these, front and back. When you get down to the very bottom here, this is a challenge question. It's quite difficult. If everything else fails, you could just graph it on graph paper. You might be able to figure it out. But the idea is to try to think about it and actually do some math. You might remember midpoint formula, and that was when you add up the x's and divide it by 2, add up the y's and divide it by 2. Okay, you might want to remember distance formula. That's the big square root, where you take the distance of the x's squared, like how far apart they are, plus the distance of the y's squared. Okay, and then take the square root of the whole thing. That would give you the distance between 2 points. I'm not going to make you do these. This is for my high flyers, the kids that really want to challenge. These are pretty difficult questions, so you could probably look up something in a book. It might help you out too. Once again, this is lesson 5 too. Trying to see that. All right, that's probably enough for you to get started. So good luck. Enjoy.